Hello everyone and welcome to Bigfoot and Real Estate Part 5, The Dwelling. There's a lot to consider when looking for a home, be it for us, and I'm quite sure Bigfoot feels the same way. In either case, everyone probably wants to make sure they get the best house for themselves and or their family. In this video, Bigfoot and Real Estate Part 5, The Dwelling, we will discuss factors you will want to consider before making a move and writing that check. First on the list, adequate square footage. For comfortable living for your family and guests, if you like to entertain, trust in the fact one of the long-standing sayings in real estate, which still holds true, is God's not making more dirt. So as much as you probably do not want to spend more than needed and purchase more space than needed, you probably, for good reasons, want to make sure that you don't buy a dream home and quickly discover you're feeling cramped and the king-size bed won't fit in that master bedroom. Well, we're speaking about bedrooms. Sufficient bedrooms and bathrooms are always atop the list. If you plan to expand your family, make sure the new home can accommodate those plans. Whether it's an extra room for a new baby, an in-law suite for parents, or a guest bedroom, perhaps if you're moving out of state, like to the Valley of the Sun, Arizona. Always anticipate lots of visitors, especially when your pool looks so inviting during those winter months. The same could go for if you're planning to downsize. Perhaps you have children that are grown and going to move out soon. I hope that tidbit helps you shop for your future dwelling. I often wonder if a Bigfoot, when shopping for their house in the woods, not quite sure that they would have representation, aka a real estate agent professional showing them around, but I was wondering what the keys to their happiness would be. I guess I would have to say secluded, plenty of fresh water and air, and places to play hide and go seek. Well, in any event, here's a list of what fell atop humans' interests and needs and wants when purchasing a property. Number one was a comfortable eat-in kitchen, followed by a backyard for the children and or pets to play in, easy access to school, shoppings, and dining. And I always have this question, do we want a swimming pool? Well, in Arizona, that's kind of a must-have, and I guess for a Bigfoot, a pool might be considered or viewed as an oversized bathtub. So if it fits your budget, go for it. Here's one to think about, and based on the average size of Bigfoots, from what I've read and I'm learning online, and by the way, what a fascinating subject. Dive into it one of these days, after you watch a couple more of our videos, of course. But that would be ceiling height. I have to think that if the average height of Bigfoots are 7 feet to 12 feet, then ceiling height would be important. For me, not so much. However, whenever I'm with a client and they're taller, I always point out the ceiling height and or if a property has vaulted ceilings. These are things to consider, and sometimes newer home buyers forget to look up. Next is storage. Did you know that most homes here in the Valley of the Sun do not have basements, which many utilize for several things, such as storage for holiday decorations? Now, I'm not sure about Bigfoot, but for many, this takes up a lot of space and is usually used once or twice a year. Just something to think about if you have a ton of stuff when considering making a purchase, upsizing or downsizing. It's a perfect time to see what might stay and what might go. That way, you don't have to have wasted space or pay for extra storage outside your property. Two of the biggest questions based on your income and assets would be, what kind of home can you afford? And will you be comfortable with those payments? For some home buyers, living in a specific neighborhood takes precedence above everything else, whereas for others, the home itself is more important. In a perfect world, you'll find the ideal home in your neighborhood of choice at a price you can afford. But realistically, most people will have to make some compromises. These kinds of decisions need to be made well before beginning the search for your new home and absolutely prior to you closing on that property. Hello everyone, I'm Sean Rogers, Realtor and lead of the Mr. Rogers Homes team here in the Valley of the Sun. If you're thinking about buying, selling, renting, or investing, please reach out to us. We would be happy, actually honored to get you moving. As always, thank you for watching our videos and supporting our channel. Remember to keep a lookout for other links to videos that we think you'll enjoy. Till next time, take care. God bless America. Talk to you soon. For those of you listening who like statistics, here's a list of what most potential Arizona buyers felt was important. Please keep in mind, numbers never lie, but they sure can vary. Staying within initial budget came in number 1 and was labeled extremely important. Air conditioning was number 2 and was also labeled extremely important. Preferred number of bedrooms was number 3 and was labeled very important. The preferred number of bathrooms just squeaked in at number 4 and was listed as very important as well. Private outdoor space was number 5, and this may have been ranked much higher for Bigfoot, but for us humans, it was labeled as important. Preferred size of square footage and floor plan tied at number 6 and was considered important. Well, there you have it, but again, opinions may vary. Here's a professional tip for you. Always double check the property's condition. TV makes home renovation projects look easy, but they're anything but. If you're a first-time buyer who has never undergone a renovation, you may want to steer clear of a home in serious need of one. Unless, of course, that's your thing, then go for it. But keep in mind, the costs can add up quickly, and if the home needs structural work, it can delay your move-in, causing unnecessary stress and added costs. We all have dreams about the ideal place where we see ourselves living. What kind of house do you desire? Is it on the beach? Or is it in a secluded location within the forest? I'm pretty sure I know which one Bigfoot would be looking for, but to help us humans out, here's a few questions and answers which will narrow down what kind of house you may like to live in. Question 1. Where do you want to live? In the country? In the city? In the suburbs? It really doesn't matter. Question 2. What do you like in a house? A. I would love a big house. B. Somewhere quiet and relaxing. C. Somewhere I can do something exciting. And D. I don't care as long as it's a house of my own. The next question. What do you picture your future backyard to look like? A. It will have many decorations. B. A big lot with plenty of trees. C. I'd like a lot of grass and an outdoor deck. D. I would like some kind of water surrounding my property. And the last question, how many children do you plan on having? 1 to 2? B. 3 or 4? C. Over 4? D. None. Well, when our team meets with clients who are looking to purchase a home or an investment property, here's a few of the other questions we ask, which truly allows us to dial in the best search parameters based on their replies. When we have this custom list of the features wanted in a home, we then rank them in terms of priorities. decide whether the house or the neighborhood matters more to them, or whether they're willing to make a longer commute to own a home with a larger lot. I suppose even when Bigfoot or any creature in the wild is figuring this out, they want the best bang for the buck and as many of their needs and wants as possible. Okay, here's just again a quick list of how we, professional real estate agents and the Mr. Rogers Homes team, go about putting together the list to complete a plan about what house may best fit a potential buyer. And remember, there's no charge for us to represent you when buying, and all of our contact information is in the description of the video below. So feel free to reach out to us, no obligations. Just pick our brain about Valley of the Sun Real Estate. We'd be more than happy to answer your questions. And now the list of questions that we ask potential buyers when we initially meet with them in reference to what home may be best fit for them. We start out by asking, are they open to townhouses and condominiums? Do they prefer single story and 2 stories? Could they even do a 3-story with a spiral staircase? Are they open to looking at new builds? What is the oldest year built of a property they would like to entertain looking at? Do they have a range of square footage? Then we move on to, of course, bedrooms. And we ask, does this include perhaps a loft or a den or a side sitting area? Moving on would be bathrooms. And then a big one here in Arizona again would be, do they need a pool? Could they live with a community pool? Do they need a private and community pool? Or is a pool just not an interest to them? Then garage. And if you remember earlier in our conversation on this video, there's a lack of storage here in Arizona, as most houses don't have basements and the attics are just too hot to store things. So garage space usually is utilized for much more than just your vehicles. We also ask what type of lot they may be interested in, and we start off by asking the traditional small, medium, or large. These are just a few of the questions that we ask so we can get a general idea of what houses we should start looking for our clients and in what neighborhoods. And then it goes deeper as far as school systems, subdivisions, how close to hospitals or highways, are there employees close or will be a longer commute. Again, we take it deeper and deeper at each step of the process, but initially we'd like to have a broad stroke idea of what we're looking for, therefore not setting them up to search for a 1-bedroom skyrise condo in the city versus a 14-acre horse property that backs up to the mountains. Well, we ask these questions so then we have, again, a general idea of where and or what to search for. Well, I hope you out in your search for a property, wherever that may be. And here's one last golden nugget for you. Always think long term. The typical homeowner stays in their house for about 12 years before selling. So when shopping for a home, don't just think of your immediate needs. Make sure the home you select will meet your long-term goals so you don't have to move again prior to the average years that people do so. Well, we've come to the end of another Bigfoot and real estate video. I truly hope you enjoyed it. Say, here's some food for thought, and please leave your answer in the comments below. What do you think Bigfoot is? Until next time, take care.